Hey homies, what's up? It's your boy Timmy DLC, back again for another article corner. Today's question: how many of y'all remember murder hornets from a year ago? Alright, just roaming the Pacific Northwest, murdering bees, taking out the homie, stopping the honey production, stopping bee pollination, killing off our MVP species? Nah. Something had to be done. Now scientists have a plan, because we all know boys are stupid, and apparently horny hornets can't resist WAP. Yeah, let's talk about it. Hi homies, so welcome back to another article corner. Right, I'm your host, Timmy Timmy DLC. This is our segment where Brandy and I scour the internet looking for interesting articles of science, because science is interesting. And, summarize them, narrate them, bring them back to you, open up discussion down in the comments, and just see what you think. If you like what we do, please subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, please hit the like button. It's somewhere around here. Hit that button that says like, just click. Right? Leave a comment down below if you come across any articles you like, or if there's anything specific you want us to look at and cover. So with that being said, let's get into the video. The Vespidae is a diverse family of wasps and hornets that are formidable predators of insects, including our MVP species, the honeybee. This family of predators include a number of invasive species. Recently, the world's largest hornet, Vespa mandarina smith, aka the giant hornet, or the Asian giant hornet, or as we've been referring to him for like the last year, aka the giant murder hornet. Right? Because when it looks like that, you know it came from murder. This species is naturally found in the Indo-Malayan region and has been found in Canada and the United States recently, right? It's just kind of decimating honeybee populations across the Pacific Northwest, which, as you may know, we got any bees. So, yeah. Once it was discovered, simulations indicated that it could rapidly spread throughout Washington and Oregon, then from there into the western US, as well as some parts of the eastern part of the country. This would threaten native bees and honeybees, which would harm bee-pollinated crop production, which, fun fact, did not know this, is worth over $100 million annual. $100 million. I want one. You give me one, I'm straight for life probably. 5 mil, definitely straight for life. $100 million. Let that sink in. Invasive Vespid species are difficult to eliminate because they are eusocial, benefit from division of labor, have large colonies, and can sometimes have hidden nests, whether it's in the ground or like an old abandoned park under a bridge. They play hide and seek really with where they live. And in case you're wondering, eusocial means showing an advanced level of social organization in which a single female or cast produces the offspring and non-reproductive individuals cooperate in caring for the young. So basically everyone here contributes, everyone has a job to do, kind of spread out, everyone knows their role, everyone stays in their lane. So I know you're wondering, how are we doing this currently? Currently, the method used is essentially just trapping a murder hornet, attaching either a radio device to him and letting him fly home, and then just picking up the frequency as we go from there. Or we trap the little homie and then we follow the little horny hornet home and manually remove the nest. That's the primary control strategy now. However, that method is laborious and depends mainly upon the visual detection of hornets. Basically, we don't know they're here unless we see them. And sometimes, people like playing hide and seek, and they kind of good. They're pretty good. So, I know what you're thinking. But Timmy, is there an alternative? You bet your sweet Baba Ganoush there's an alternative. Cause scientists are brilliant and science is amazing. Yay. For other types of pest-like insects, sex pheromones are widely used to monitor and trap harmful insect species and therefore control their presence. And now, luckily for scientists, we know the Asian giant hornet produces an aggregation sex pheromone that attracts males to the nest entrance where they mate with virgin queens. Because, who can avoid a virgin queen if you're a hornet? However, the source and composition of this sex pheromone was previously unknown. So it's at this point in our story of love and deception that there is now an urgent need to learn more about the Mandarina's reproductive biology and develop trapping methods to locate its nest and to control its reproduction. That's right. We're going to control how they fuck. Yay, just bleep that out. Scientists collected sexually mature virgin queens and drones with insect nets as they emerged from 3 colonies in Yunnan, China. That's right, we had a couple scientists running out there with butterfly net. Ah, I got one, Billy! Okay, let's take it to the lab and do some tests. Yeah, field science. They then placed a queen inside a cage with males, and the males immediately clustered around the queen and intensively antennaed at her and tried to mate with her, leading to the realization that Vespa app has sternal glands on the 5th and 6th metasomal sternites. Vespa elentina queens produce sex pheromone in their 6th intersegmental sternal gland. These are glands within the inner segments. We'll cover that future. After discovering this, they used clean filter paper strips to rub queen sternal intersegmental glands and immediately pin one strip in a cage with it. It was observed that only paper strips rubbed against the 5th and 6th intersegmental sternal gland surfaces attracted males. Males rapidly walked upon and antennaed the strips and sometimes tried to mount other males on the strip. That's right, boys. We all gained some action. It's like, this smells good. I'm gonna mount it. Hey, get off me. My bad, Jeremy. Your eyes just look so attractive. I got lost in them and got carried away by the moment. These gland extracts were significantly more attractive than the clean control paper in all 6 trials, and both gland extracts were equally attractive to males. So after scientists learned that B. mandarina queens produce sex pheromone from the 5th and 6th intersegmental sternal glands of virgin queens. Wait, what? So now, on to the next step. Next step being finding out what is in this crack Viagra combination that these boys just can't resist. But yeah, woohoo! It doesn't look like a queen, it looks like a strip of paper, but I'ma hump it. You do you, boo-boo. Using solid phase micro extraction and gas chromatography mass spectrometry to identify the putative sex pheromone compounds from 6 queens. They found the major active compounds were hexanoic acid, octanoic acid, and decanoic acid. Afterwards, the scientists used coupled gas chromatography electroantennogram detection and found that all 3 major components elicit strong responses from male antennae. They then measured the responses of the male antennae to pure synthetic compounds or a queen equivalent mixture. All treatments elicited stronger responses than the solvent control. Male antennae showed significantly elevated responses as compared to the control, even to a 1/10 of the queen equivalent mixture. That means 1/10 of that mix. Boys were like, yeah, woohoo! I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool. When placed in field traps, the synthetic compounds and a queen equivalent mixture rapidly, immediately, quickly attracted hundreds of males, but no females and no other species besides our targets. From November to December of 2020, the pure compounds were tested and found a significant effect treatment with 100 micrograms of octanoic acid attracting the most males. In total, 1,318 B. mandarina males were trapped and no females over 36 hours at a rate of 2 hours of exposure per day. This experiment was repeated from October to November in 2021 and included tests of the queen equivalent mixture and extracts from the 5th and 6th intersegmental glands. Extracts of the 5th and 6th glands captured the most males, followed by mixtures of the synthetic compounds and octanoic and decanoic acids at the highest concentrations tested. In total, we trapped 2,542 V. mandarinia males and no females over 90 hours at a rate of 5 hours of exposure per day. In both experiments, control traps collected very few males, suggesting that the dummy males were not inherently attractive. Because V. mandarinia drones mate near nests, we placed our traps 10 to 15 meters from the nest, as stated in the article. The paper also notes the additional studies should be conducted to test the ability of these traps to capture males when located at greater distances from the nest. Right? The traps were evidently species specific. In both field seasons, traps were placed approximately 200-300 meters from the Vespa colonies, and we observed Vespas flying near some traps, yet no Vespa violentina and any other insects were captured. So no males were captured, no other species of insects was captured, right? It was only our target species, which is great, it's promising. Hexanoic acid, octanoic acid, and decanoic acid are simple saturated aldehydes and have not previously been identified as components of sex pheromones. However, they are components of insect pheromones that attract congeners. Ant trail pheromones, locust aggregation pheromone, and honeybee Nazanov pheromones are other examples. However, the higher attraction of natural glandular extracts suggests the limitation of the study, according to the group. They explain the other olfactory components, apart from the ones that we identified, likely play a role and deserve additional study. Queen cuticular lipids may increase attraction. However, it appears that even minute amounts of queen equivalent mixture captured, on average, 16-fold more males than the control group. Given the urgent need to monitor the spread of Vespa mandarinia in North America and to control its reproduction, they suggest that immediate testing of these sex pheromone components and their mixture would be beneficial, while studies to identify additional queen sex pheromone components are being carried out. End quote. So, in summation, murder hornets have become a big issue, especially as they decimate bee colonies and bee pollinated crops, because, well, they're murdering the MVP species, the bee. No bee, no pollination. Pretty simple. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. That being said, scientists have figured out how to control the boys. Make them think there's some girls around, and they just get all willy-nilly. They don't even think, they just running and gunning. They're like, yo, straight up swinger party, right? So they're out here trying to get groovy, and that's it. That's all she wrote. But hey, you know, it's one way to control the population. Alright, homies, that'll do it for me today. Thanks again for staying with us. Thanks again for watching the video. Really appreciate y'all. Appreciate your time. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Consider sharing it. If you have any comments, please hit them in the comments down below. And if there's anything you want us to look at or cover in the future, please drop a comment. Yeah, that'll do it for me this week. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care. Bye.